Ariel Helwani in Mexico City for UFC 188 alongside the old man wrestling coach himself. He's got the John Thompson towel, the high socks. The shirt isn't tucked in, though.
Not in my day-to-day life, just when I'm about to fight. In day-to-day, I don't tuck my shirt in. If I got to be honest, it looks a little dorky.
How about this?
If I'm not in a fight environment, it looks a little weird, but
I think it's endearing.
it looks very good when I'm going to the octagon.
How about this? I mean, Daniel Cormier is now the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion, and already, for the first time since I've known him, maybe 5-6 years, you are putting stipulations on our interviews. You said absolutely only questions about Cain Velasquez. When did you change? We're colleagues.
I haven't changed. I just this is Cain's week. This isn't about anything me. I'm here just as he was in my when it was my fight week, and he was just part of my fight team. That's what I am to Cain today. So.
You're at media day. We don't often see.
He actually told me to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, "Come with me." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I'm going to actually have to do interviews," and I think that may be why he made me come with him. I was actually going to sit back and finish Hell's Kitchen. I'm almost done with the series.
What's that?
Hell's Kitchen. It's a cooking show. It's a great show.
Oh, that's one on Fox.
Yeah, with Gordon Ramsay. Of course, Fox. I only watch Fox.
Keep it in the family.
I only watch Fox.
All right. I have sensed a different Cain Velasquez. He seems pretty pissed off. Did Fabricio cross the line with those comments about him being an American who thinks he's a Mexican?
Let me ask you a question. How exactly can you tell Cain's pissed off when his face never changes?
He is cyborg-esque in that sense. He has no emotion, but it seems like he's annoyed.
Well, I think, this morning I saw Fabricio at the breakfast, and I said, you should have just kept quiet. I go, you didn't have to say anything. And he goes, when you fight, do you say anything? I go, yeah, I say everything. But there are just certain things that you don't touch. The injury stuff didn't bother Cain. He doesn't care. Say whatever you want to sell a fight, but Cain's a very prideful guy. He has brown pride across his chest, and he loves his heritage, and I think that's where you kind of cross a line that you don't want to with him. Will it affect his performance? I don't think so. He didn't really like when Junior Dos Santos said he hits like a girl. And you saw what happened to Junior Dos Santos. So you pretty much have two options when it comes to fighting Cain Velasquez. Take your whipping quietly like Bigfoot Silva, or say something and get beat up like Junior Dos Santos. Your call.
He seems fitter than usual.
Yeah.
He seems cut, very slim. Is that accurate?
Yeah, he's very small. He looks like he's still about the same weight, but physically he looks better. Tony Castro has done a fantastic job with his strength and conditioning. He looks good, man. When I saw him on Sunday, because I hadn't seen him for a week, I said, "You look skinny." And he goes, "I don't even know how much I weigh." But then he got on the scale, and I think he was around 240, 241. So the weight's still the same, but he looks like he's carrying it a little bit better than he did before.
Javier Mendez says he's going to annihilate Verdum, and this is not even going to be close. Do you agree?
It's hard because Verdum's so good to say that he's going to get demolished, And I think when I look at the fight for everything that it is, Junior Dos Santos got beat on for 50 minutes, and that's because he is just so damn tough. Not many guys can withstand that type of beating, and we've seen Fabricio lose fights where he's been finished before. If he's been finished by those guys, I think he'll get finished by Cain. But that's not an indication of Fabricio not being very good. It's just that there's a difference between number one and the rest of the division, as we saw in the Dos Santos fight.
How much is Luke Rockhold bothering you this week?
Well, Luke Rockhold's pretty cool up until he starts trying to talk basketball. Now, it is just ridiculous, because Luke's telling me about the NBA Finals. He's like, we should all be talking about Dellavedova. And I go, yeah, you know what? He's doing phenomenal. But it's only because LeBron James is the best NBA player in the entire world. And he's like, LeBron's messing up in crunch time. I said, Luke, what are you talking about? The guy that he's averaging a triple-double, I think. I go, Luke, I said, how do guys like Mario Chalmers and all these guys from Cleveland before, they look like world beaters, and in the moment LeBron's gone, they're just average NBA players. I go, Iman Shumpert, listen, just be quiet. Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith, they're average basketball players who have played with some of the greats, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James. Carmelo Anthony won 50-some games with them. But they didn't go to the NBA Finals. LeBron James has been to the NBA Finals 5 years in a row. He's the best, man. It's like you can't stop him. And Luke's over here talking about Dellavedova. I want to slap him. I had to get out of the sauna. I was like, enough. I'm done. I'm like, you want me to actually see? He said, and I promise you on my life, Luke Rockhold said, Dellavedova should get the NBA Finals MVP. He said that. So I was like, okay, Luke, enough. We're not talking anymore. It's over.
Who's better, MJ or LeBron right now? let's get into that debate.
Who's the better player? Let me tell you something. This is my thoughts on the Michael Jordan, LeBron James thing, okay? And I've said this to people time and time again. We have to open our eyes and be open to accepting that at some point someone's going to be better than Michael Jordan. And if you do that, LeBron James is that guy. A lot of people disagree. That is just my opinion. LeBron James at his size and what he can do on the basketball court, nobody's ever been better in basketball than LeBron James, even Michael Jordan. We have to accept it, man. Just because he was, Mike was the man. He was great. We all love him. We all wanted to be like Mike. But at some point you have to accept, just like with Muhammad Ali and everyone else, the greats, someone's going to come along and be better. And Anderson Silva, our sport, it was like, oh, he's the greatest of all time. Probably going to have to accept at some point that John Jones has surpassed what Anderson Silva really did.
Now you just opened the door for me to ask you about, but you know what I'm saying? Now you just opened the door for me to ask you about John Jones.
Of course, but I think I think John Jones is the greatest fighter of all time. That's just the truth.
You feel bad for Ryan Bader?
I do feel bad for Ryan Bader a little bit because I don't know what he's ever going to do in order to earn a title shot. Maybe he beats Rashad Evans, he'll get a title shot, but after all that shit he pulled over at the press conference and not getting it, I really don't think it'll ever happen for him.
Final thing, kind of a sour piece of news to pass along, a very sad piece of news. I don't know if you heard this, but I know that you're a fan of this world. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, passed away this morning.
No.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
69 years old.
Dusty Rhodes died this morning? Yeah. Are you?
There are reports, I swear, I wish I was joking. The American Dream. Were you a fan of his back in the day?
Hey, I'm just the son of a plumber with the lisp, walking around with Sensational Sherry and the polka dots. Right. And then he left and had the little black lady that really could dance with him. I can't remember her name.
Oh, man, I forget her name as well now. But yeah.
She passed away too. Wow, that sucks. Yeah. That really sucks.
Sorry, I thought you would want to know.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes was one of the greatest entertainers of all time. You should probably let me hit you with an atomic elbow just for old time's sake.
Thank you, DC.
No problem.